Guys, moving on to the next topic. So we were talking about this actually on Monday, and we were talking about who everybody thinks is the best quarterback. And we were asking the question, is Cam Newton the best quarterback? And we never really got to finish the topic because we ran out of time. But it was getting, we were actually getting into it, and then we had to go. But we're gonna revisit the topic. So guys, do you guys really think Cam Newton is the best quarterback in football right now? I mean, the man has had a great season, got his team to the Super Bowl. But if we're looking at as far as regular season, I mean, he's had 46 total touchdowns as we look at it. And, like I said earlier, on Monday, his completion percentage was 59.8%. And he's thrown for 3,900 or so yards. So do you guys really believe he's the best quarterback in football as it is right now? Colin, let me hear your perspective. What do you think?
What did I say last time? I was like, right now, he's looking like
your position changed?
Yeah. No. I didn't even finish.
All right, go ahead. Sorry. We did jump on you.
I know, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was like last time that he was the best.
It just made me laugh because you're like, what did I say last time? And I thought you were going to change what you – okay, go ahead.
And I do think that he is the best right now just because he has a more versatile game. Although Tom Brady don't throw less interceptions than he does, and he's efficient in the fourth quarter. Cam Newton can give you those couple yards that you need to get that first down with the run, or he can get you that touchdown that maybe the running game is lacking. And I do think that he has enough protection in the pocket to get accurate throws off. Like the way I was seeing against the Cardinals, the man had so much time in the pocket, and he just threw some great passes until that one interception pass, and I already told y'all what happened after that. But yeah, I think the Cam Newton right now is at the top of his game, and he's playing a game. He's playing like an elite quarterback. He's an elite quarterback right now, and I do think that he can be considered the best right now.
Okay, Rashad, what do you think?
It's Cam Newton. And see, I'm going to tell you why it's Cam Newton. Because Cam Newton don't have the weapons that like a Tom Brady have, something like that. Because right now, it seems like the debate is between Tom Brady and Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. There should be no reason. I mean, yeah, Gronk do it too. But there should be no reason Greg Olsen is in top 5 receiving yards at a tight end position. Coming from Cam Newton. That's all he has. He made Greg Olsen look like the Jason Witten of old. That's exactly what he did. Now the conversation is Jason Witten, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Greg Olsen, according to the season. So let me see. So you have that here. See, you got to put some enthusiasm in your talk. Got to get some enthusiasm in it. Cam Newton's doing this with no weapons. He has a run game, yes. Tom Brady has no run game. We all know that. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady makes up for his passing game. Tom Brady ain't got no line. When Tom Brady gets pressure, he breaks down. Clearly seen like this past weekend. So Cam Newton doesn't break down. He makes all plays with his feet. No quarterback makes plays with his feet like Cam Newton do. Russell Wilson, he gets a little scrambling on. Yeah, you see, look at it. Russell Wilson gets a little scrambling on, but it ain't no Cam Newton scramble.
Okay.
Cam Newton's a linebacker back there playing quarterback. So nobody's getting his way. Nobody's getting his way. Like when they see him running, they're like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's a running back.
Exactly. A bigger running back.
Yeah.
That can throw.
He's an accurate quarterback this season. This is this season now. He's an accurate quarterback this season. He's running like a running back this season. He has no weapons like talking about. I want to say Corey Brown's weapon. Go ahead. No, I'm not going to say that. He ain't no Julian Edelman. Greg Olsen still ain't no Gronk, but he's up there with him right now. 2 best tight ends in the league right now. I mean, he has a good defense that actually gives him some good field position to actually make more touchdowns and stuff like that we see, kind of scales it off a little bit. But he's still playing the best ball as a quarterback right now this season. Got the team 15-1, best record in the NFL. Why is he not the best quarterback? If you don't win MVP, I'm not watching the NFL no more.
Just quit the NFL. Oh Lord.
So let me address both of y'all points. So y'all want to talk about weapons and running and scrambling and hit and all this other things. Let me tell y'all a little something about my man in Seattle, Russell Wilson. I'm a Rams fan, granted you, and we're in the same division. So I see this man Russell Wilson 2 times in the year. For all those who were not listening the other day for the stats I gave out on these 2 quarterbacks, Russell Wilson falls for 4,024 yards, passing yards, threw for 34 touchdowns, only threw 8 interceptions, had a passer rating of 110, and ran for 553 yards and ran for 1 touchdown. Cam Newton, on the other hand, Cam Newton threw for 3,837 yards, 35 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, completion percentage of 59.8, passer rating of 99.4, and 10 rushing touchdowns to 636 passing yards, or 636 rushing yards, excuse me. And also, Russell Wilson has a completion percentage of 68.1. And we want to talk about bad O-lines. Russell Wilson's O-line, since they traded away it was Max Unger, I believe, to get Jimmy Graham. When they traded him away and Russell Okung went down also, their offensive line has been abysmal. So Russell Wilson has made this all happen granted, his team, the Seahawks, were 10-6 this season. Russell Wilson made all this happen with Jermaine Kearse and Doug Baldwin as his primary targets. And we're talking about Cam has no what's it called, targets to throw to. The man did have Greg Olsen, who's been, everybody's known, has been a great tight end throughout his tenure wherever he's played. And then he also has Ted Ginn Jr., who came on. Everybody knows Ted Ginn Jr. has been a speedster his whole career. Ted Ginn Jr., although at times would drop passes, he still takes the lid off the top of a defense. Now on Seattle's front, who do they have that does that? Relatively nobody.
Lockett does it. Lockett be going deep all the time. He get open.
Tyler Lockett.
He get open for no reason.
Tyler Lockett isn't their deep threat though. He doesn't know me. He isn't their deep threat for whatever reason. Oh, you got a caller. You got a caller. Go ahead, Khalid.
Caller. Yeah. I think you're.
Oh, did I turn the
Hello, caller? Caller, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Are you there? No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on with all three of you this morning?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Oh, all right. Hey, I just want to call and chime in on you guys' debate about who can beat the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Who do you have that could inevitably give Golden State a run for their money?
Golden State with a 7-game series on the line. You give them a healthy team, San Antonio Spurs would most definitely take Golden State out.
So what makes you think the San Antonio Spurs can take them out when clearly this team was pretty much healthy this game without Tim Duncan? Only missing pieces.
You're talking about, okay, they arrested Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is a major asset to the San Antonio Spurs. You take him out of the lineup, you know, that takes a lot away from the game. I understand they lost by 33 points, but we're talking about when San Antonio Spurs are rested, which Pop will make sure they're rested when the playoff time gets here. He's going to have arrested Tim Duncan. He's going to have arrested Tony Parker. Patty Mills going to get the same time, his playing time. But you're going to have arrested Tony Parker, arrested Tim Duncan. Aldridge going to be clicking on the cylinders. You'll have Leonard. Nobody can beat those guys when they're well rested and healthy.
So how do you stop when they go small ball? Because the lineup you just said, you have both LaMarcus Aldridge and Tim Duncan in there, both who cannot actually run with the Warriors, which seems that's their go-to plan right now is to go small ball to win games.
But you have to understand that you have the best coach in the league right now, which is Pop. Pop will come up with a plan to stop that small ball. Yeah, you will have Mills and Parker in at the same time. You know, and at the same time, you know, you can have Leonard. You can take Tim Duncan out. You can take Tim Duncan out when he starts running that small ball. But guess what? You still have West. West just has a lot of legs up underneath him. So therefore, I don't think Golden State can beat the Spurs in a 7-game series.
But the question I have for you is David West a good enough rim protector to protect against whenever Golden State goes small? What they normally take advantage of from the other team is that they take advantage of the team's lack of rim protection, because no one can stop Golden State whenever they go small, because everybody has to take their bigs out because no big is comfortable with guarding a Draymond Green or Harrison Barnes or so on the perimeter. So whenever Golden State goes small, they force the other team's bigs to have to guard them on the perimeter. So even if you put David West in there, he's going to have to guard a Draymond Green who shoots 40% from the 3-point line. So David West won't be.
That's where Aldridge come in. Aldridge didn't want to play that center position. Aldridge didn't want to play that forward position. He's going to have Draymond. We're going to keep West in the middle. You know, he can easily handle the middle. And we're going to put Parker on Klay Thompson, and you got Mills, and plus you got Diaw. Diaw still has a lot of legs underneath him. So when they start going that small ball, the Spurs have enough people to match up against those smaller players they have on the team.
So you're having like a Boris Diaw or somebody like an Andre Iguodala on the wing who can take him off the dribble. Yes, Boris Diaw is a perimeter defender or a strong. I'm gonna say a strong defender. I'm gonna say a strong perimeter defender. He's a strong defender, but to constantly run up and down the floor with that team and then still guard like an Andre Iguodala who's aggressive to the basket.
When you have the defense that the Spurs can put on you, because like I said, they're a fundamental team. You know, they're sticking to the basic fundamentals of the game of basketball. And when Pop started just playing that and inputting that in their game system, and they're slowing down these three-point shooters, like you say, you live by the three, you die by the three. Eventually, Golden State going to die by that three.
Why can't they slow down?
Just like we talk about Duke year after year. Duke has always lived by the three. When Duke lived by the three, they die by the three as well.
But here's the only thing about Duke. They don't got Stephen Curry.
Exactly.
They don't got Stephen Curry. That's the only thing.
Stephen Curry can shoot almost anywhere from the court and make it.
Stephen Curry is one guy. One guy. And you slow that one guy down. Slow that one guy down. Klay Thompson, yeah, he's at 40-some% three.
Draymond Green, too.
But how many threes is he shooting per game, though?
Klay Thompson?
Yes.
I got that for you right
And
now.
how many threes is Draymond Green shooting per game?
Klay Thompson shoots 7 threes a game.
Okay, so that's 7 threes per game. And I can hit 3 of those, and that's going to put me at 40-some%?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 7 threes. We're talking about Steph now. Steph is shooting around about 13 threes per game, 13, 14 per game.
He shoots 10
It's
threes.
not more than that.
Yeah, he shoots 10. He actually shoots 10 threes a game. He makes 4.9 of them.
Exactly. So if you shut down Steph Curry and you put a little defense on Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, all those threes are gone.
I can't say
I don't know if all the threes are gone.
Not all of the threes, but majority of the threes are
Yeah.
gone. Majority of the threes are gone. And that's the ball that San Antonio is going to play against the Warriors. Yeah, granted, we can't sit back and say, yeah, they lost by 33 points the other night. It's not playoff time. The Spurs are a completely different team.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. But the only thing for me is the Spurs are an entirely different team playoff time, but that's the same team that got knocked out by the Clippers last season.
Mm-hmm.
Even though now you add LaMarcus Aldridge, that's the same team that just got knocked out by the Clippers in the first round last year off a Chris Paul game winner in Game 7. So
okay, and we're talking about a totally different team, the Clippers and the Warriors. 2 different teams.
but that's the thing, and the Warriors are a better team than the Clippers are right now.
Yeah.
The thing that beat the Spurs last year, yeah, they had a game winning shot by Chris Paul, but they lost in the middle. They don't have that power this year in the middle. Tim Duncan was tired. He cannot control the middle all by himself. They lost in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with Tim Duncan being rested when playoff time get here, and you have Aldridge well rested, we won't have to worry about them facing the Clippers. If they do face the Clippers, they'll beat them soundly, probably in 5 games. And that's why Pop will have his defense ready to play that small ball and beat the Warriors.
Well, that's something that we'll have to wait to see because they have 3 more meetings throughout the rest of the season. That's the time they play is actually March 19th. So that'll actually be the next time we get to see the Spurs in action against the Warriors at the Spurs home court. So,
and I guarantee you will see a totally different team come March.
Okay, I have one question before we have to let you go because we have to keep going on the show with the rest of our topics. But I have one question for you. Do you believe the Warriors or the Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder would be a better match for the Warriors? Or which out of those 2 teams?
I would say the Spurs.
You say the Spurs, okay. Well,
Spurs would be a better matchup. Granted, Oklahoma has the speed to match up with them, but they don't have the experience.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you calling in, caller. We thank you for your support on the show, and hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon.
All right, you fellas, be good.
All right, thank you. Okay, well, we appreciate anybody that always wants to call in to talk on the show. We appreciate the call, just like you heard the caller that just called in. Anybody can call in and join in on our sports debates at any time if y'all want to. Where I was currently going with the Russell Wilson and Cam Newton debate was, well, if we're talking about the lack of receivers, well, and you also want to bring in Tom Brady, where you could talk about with Tom Brady, where Tom Brady does have receivers, yes. I mean, Julian Edelman and, Danny Amendola and Rob Gronkowski especially. The problem is what you've noticed from Tom Brady, he's never had, since Randy Moss, Tom Brady's never had an outside the numbers guy that takes the lid off your defense. Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, all those guys are quick inside guys that, they all their bread and butter is yards after the catch because they're so quick. But if you think about it, he's never had a guy that can, will blow past everybody and goes over everybody and makes a catch. And you want to talk about lack of receivers, Aaron Rodgers had relatively no receivers. We can't even name a tight end that Aaron Rodgers had.
But at the same time, you can't sit here and say the Carolina Panthers had decent receivers, because there's a reason Ted Ginn goes from place to place, because he can't. Yeah, he has speed. Yeah, there's a lot of receivers who have speed, but can't do nothing with it. Devin Hester, for prime example. Torrey Smith took him a long time to develop that. He has the speed, but he doesn't have the moves to beat the defender to give him the space. He can just outrun everybody every play.
But there's a reason why now he's productive in Carolina.
He's productive on shorter catches and catching up.
But he's still productive in Carolina.
He wasn't unproductive in other places either, though. He just wasn't as productive as he was
in Arizona. He wasn't productive.
I didn't even know he was there. That's how you're relevant.
Cam Newton has helped him elevate himself as a player, but that goes hand in hand. I mean, when Brett Favre came to the Vikings, we never heard of Sidney Rice. Sidney Rice becomes a big receiver the minute he plays with Brett Favre. As a lot of these guys, Danny Amendola was a good receiver in St. Louis. Comes to New England, he's a dangerous weapon now. There's so many of these players that you look at, and I'm not. To me, I think the best overall quarterback in football is either it has to be Aaron Rodgers to me, because even though Aaron Rodgers, we say this man had a down season. I think he threw 36 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
Right, Aaron Rodgers. The thing about Aaron Rodgers, this man is so efficient with nobody.
He threw 31 touchdowns.
You can't sit here and say nobody, because at the same time, they're NFL receivers who made it to the game off the play.
That's true, but
yes, they're not better than some of these other players that we see. But at the same time, for both teams, you can't. I can't take it from Ted Ginn, but Ted Ginn, like we said, we've seen
Cam Newton doesn't have weapons then.
I said he doesn't have weapons. Like I can't say he has better weapons than
he does have better weapons than Aaron Rodgers.
No, he does.
Than Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Tom Brady
is the best quarterback.
He's not the best quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers can scramble.
He doesn't scramble.
You gotta think about it too.
No, Aaron Rodgers doesn't scramble. No, but here's the difference. Aaron Rodgers can scramble. He has the ability to run, but they're not calling run design plays like they do for Cam Newton and Russell Wilson.
But that's like those run plays come at the goal line more so in the red zone.
Bro, you don't get 636 rushing yards from the goal line. No.
But I always make with his feet himself, not just.
No, they call runs for him. They call runs for Cam Newton. You don't see where they do those little draw plays or the little reverses.
When read option. Look like another caller. I hope they're gonna teach you some knowledge.
Teach me some knowledge. What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Make sure the PFL ain't on. Oh my.
Caller, can you hear us? Sure can.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
That's good to hear. I was trying to address the best quarterback situation.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Cam Newton, he's a bad man. I'll give him his credit. He had an amazing season. But there's a lot of disrespect being thrown to a lot of people from y'all.
What do you mean?
The best quarterback is Tom Brady. I don't even like Tom Brady, but he has earned my respect. Tom Brady threw for 4,770 yards with a patchwork offensive line and no wide receivers. You can use the defense that he had Rob Gronkowski, but he missed games. Greg Olsen didn't. Here's a stat. Delaney Walker from the Titans caught 20 more passes than Rob Gronkowski and Greg Olsen. He didn't have Edelman the whole year. He didn't have Brandon LaFell the whole year. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but when he had to be put in the same situation that Tom Brady was put in, he didn't look too good. If we're talking about Cam Newton, his situation, he had a healthy Greg Olsen all year. He had an amazing run game all year. He has arguably the best defense in the league back in a month. I'm not understanding where this Tom Brady disrespect is coming from.
See, here, Carter, I got something for you. See, I'm not really trying to throw out disrespect to Tom Brady, but Tom Brady gets the ball out quick. When you put a defense on who can't give him the ball out quick, Tom Brady breaks down. Tom Brady isn't as great as we thought he was when pressure is on him. He's not as great when we thought he was when pressure. We clearly saw what happened to him this week. When you get pressure on Tom Brady, it's the same every time he goes to the Super Bowl too. Every time he plays, when pressure comes on him, Tom Brady is not the same Tom Brady we see when he gets the ball out when weaker defenses. Yes, Tom Brady is good, but at the same time, when a strong defense that can get to the ball, Tom Brady is great. But this season, he has not been better than Cam Newton.
Oh, no. Wait, let me address something real quick. Why Tom Brady has to get the ball out quick? If you had Khalid blocking Von Miller every week, you would get the ball out quick too.
And we're definitely going to see that this week. What Cam Newton in February, we're definitely going to see what can happen when Cam Newton gets the ball out and actually hold the ball and make plays with his feet. Something Tom Brady couldn't do. Tom Brady got sacked a lot more times than Cam Newton about to get sacked.
Well, because Tom Brady doesn't run the same 40 that Cam Newton does. And Tom Brady has ran, if you watch the playoff game, not against the Broncos, but the week before, he ran for that touchdown at the end. So he made something happen. He's getting better at that. He's no Cam Newton when it comes to running the ball. But I'm saying we can't really use the weapons argument in relation to Greg Olsen and Gronk because they put up basically the exact same number. I think Gronk had 100 more yards than Olsen, maybe, in the regular season. Olsen was there the entire year. Cam had the significantly better running game and defense. Brady had an offensive line made up of like 5 rookies.
Okay, and to your Brady point also, any quarterback that is getting hit consistently and doesn't have an offensive line is going to throw the ball quick. And
nobody was saying this offensive line stuff at the beginning of the season when Tom Brady was
no, but it's because he had a healthy line. He had a healthy line. No, Rashad. Yes, they were because Nate Solder went out and he got hurt. He was the Pro Bowl lineman.
But nobody was saying it's just Nate Solder on his line. No, nobody ever brought up this. Like,
yes, they have.
I don't see how bad this line is because he's getting sacked.
No, people talked about it all season. They said the weakness of the Patriots is their offensive line and their run game. Everybody has said that. And that's why I just said that he has receivers inside the numbers that are quick receivers that normally make yards after the catch, which is why they're great because Tom Brady can get the ball out fast so quick. He doesn't have anybody that he can. The only person, if you want to talk about one person outside the numbers that gets the ball, and Rob Gronkowski doesn't want to line up on the outside. He's an inside the numbers player, and that's the only guy that you can throw the ball to that goes up and gets the ball. That's the one dude Tom Brady has. And when you don't win, and he's not a mobile quarterback like Cam Newton. To your credit, you said he's not mobile like Cam Newton. But any quarterback that's getting laid out on the ground is gonna have a difficult game. Credit, say that to Andrew Luck. Credit that to Tony Romo. Anybody that's getting hit consistently. The reason why now the Dallas Cowboys were made the playoffs that season is because they got a line that could protect Tony and that could run the ball. Tom Brady lost his running back in week 3 of the season. Deion Lewis was gone. But Deion Lewis was out the backfield. No, but Deion Lewis did both things. He ran the ball and he was a danger out of the backfield. No, after he left, it still took pressure off Tom. And then after he left, Julian Edelman got hurt with his foot. He was out for multiple weeks. Then Danny Amendola got hurt. Then it was just Rob Gronkowski. Then Rob Gronkowski got hurt in the end of that Denver game. So, and that's where that first loss came. So you look at all the things Tom Brady's, and he's had 39 different offensive line combinations. 39. Cam Newton's had a running game. He's had Jonathan Stewart. He's had the same O-line. He's had the same receivers since the beginning of the season. He hasn't lost any of his receivers. Tom Brady's had to deal with everything being adjusted on the fly. So, okay.
I agree with that, and I want to add on to that point really quickly. As bad as we say the Panthers supporting cast is, they're getting stepped up. you know, starting the season, everyone's talking about Ted Ginn can't catch a cold in the Arctic wearing ice boxers, but this man is out there doing what he can to get his team wins. I know you guys have been watching these games. Ted Ginn has been breaking games open. This Devin Funchess kid from Michigan, he's been catching some balls, getting themselves open. Greg Olson's always open. They're getting Tolbert and Jonathan Stewart involved because they have a great running game. I watched the game where the Patriots took some guy out the street on Wednesday, had him in uniform on Sunday, and Tom Brady made him look like a 10-year vet. That's the mark of a great quarterback. This man, Tom Brady, could pick me up today, and I could catch a touchdown.
Hey, all right, call it in for you two in here in the studio with us. I have a question.
You have to ask a quick.
It's gonna be a quick question. I have a quick question. Are we discrediting Cam Newton's greatness because he had a run game? Like his stats aren't as well passing because he doesn't throw the ball as much? Is that what we're doing?
I'm not going to say I'm discrediting him because he has a running game, but a running game and a great defense do help. With a running game and a great defense, Mark Sanchez got to the AFC Championship twice, so anything is possible.
And I'll say to that point, I'm not discrediting Cam Newton on that, but because that's the same thing you can say about Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But then this is the first season we've seen Russell Wilson play without beast mode, and then they moved the offense to be on Russell Wilson's back, and he played better without beast mode. So you can't help but acknowledge the fact that he does have a run game. He has a defense that's going to get him short yardage, so he's going to get a lot more rushing touchdowns with a short field because he's running the ball in half the time for these touchdowns. But Caller, we appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you for supporting the show, and hopefully we can have you on the show sometime soon. The next time you watch the show, you call in to join on the debate with us, and we have fun talking to you.
Of course, y'all have a good day. Panthers gonna win the Super Bowl big. Peyton Manning sucks.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, man. Every time we debate about the best quarterbacks, man, it's always best quarterback, best NBA player, man.
You
It's
know,
always
it's so funny. I want to bring up a little point. This whole conversation, we ain't never say anything about Peyton Manning, even though he in the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Peyton
Manning.
Ever says Peyton Manning is best this season?
Nope.
I'm not speaking to him anymore. He doesn't know sports. He doesn't know anything.
It's not even okay. Go on.